Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I'm glad you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, the clergy, or rather the people Kenyans have been referring to as M-Pesa bishops or M-Pesa pastors, have decided to support Azimio One Kenya Alliance plan or request of a bipartisan solution that is handled outside the parliament. This is where it gets so interesting. Though, first of all, we need to criticize the bishops, pastors who've always been supporting this Kenya Kwanza government, and now because Raila Odinga shapika hii akaiweka pale juu, sasa chakula karibu kuiva, they come to the table in ready to eat so that they can also feel the benefit of it. So I think I differ with these people, despite the fact that I also agree with them because they have supported the legitimate plan that is supposed to be a bipartisan solution outside the parliament. Of course, people have known that the clergy have always been with the Kenya Kwanza government, but at this level, that is not going to work because the people have spoken, and it appears as if now the churches have realized that apana, this government haifanyi venye nafaa ifanywe.
Ni kwamba kuangalia jinsi tutaweza kutatua jambo la umaskini ambao umekita katika miongo ya watu wengi. Jinsi ya kushirikisha vijana wapate ajira, wapate kuajiriwa na waweze kupata njia ya kujitegemeza kimaisha.
This is our country and everybody has a stake. The more inclusive, the better. So that all of us can have a country that we can be proud of.
Nimekuwa nikishangaa kanisa, kwa sababu kanisa katika nchi yote, kanisa ndio inafaa iwe kwamba ina offer ule mwelekeo mwema katika jamii, kuongoza serikali ili ifanye kitu kulingana na venye inafaa ifanyike. Lakini kanisa hapa Kenya imekuwa ikifanya ile kitu wazungu wanasema going in bed with the government. But in a sudden change of event, SUPKEM, which is a body by Muslim body, of course, the Muslims have been attacking the government directly, though verbally, on these issues. And I think if I look at the Muslims and the Christians, I mean the churches, and then I realize that the Muslims are better off because they've been talking about these issues from the time this government took over.
Let us firmly resist political, social leaders who drive divisions and violence, and instead demand for peace and betterment of society.
They've been distancing themselves. In fact, there's a time they complained that hii serikali inapendelea sana kanisa kuliko Waislamu, msikiti yani. Hilo swala lilikuja hapo, na kubwa kuna time hapo Sheikh Juma Ngao alisema pale Jacaranda grounds. Is it no Jivanji? That day when Raila Odinga gave an ultimatum of 14 days ultimatum to William Ruto, that failure to which they would call a mass action. So that's what followed. Mass action was called, and the result this bipartisan formation. So SUPKEM have a right to say that these talks should be done outside the parliament. But the clergy don't have a right because wale ndio wale walikuwa na support serikali kabisa 150%, because they used to go to State House, they used to hold all these weekly prayer rallies that were always stand up to be political campaign rallies, and the churches never used to deny this fact, deny these leaders from making those utterances which they used to make in those in their churches, utterances that were only targeted at the opposition people. So that's why I realize that the church is not honest here. The church is not honest. It could be that the church has been sent to hijack this process. I think that is what is happening. The church has been sent to hijack the process.
Let all consultations be open and in good faith, truth, because Kenyans deserve truth in all processes as citizens listen to each other.
They don't have a genuine reason for joining this formation. I doubt. I don't know. Please, if anybody thinks that the church has a genuine take on this, please just share with us. But I do think the people that I've seen talk there, some of those people are not leaders who can be trusted. They are not church leaders who can be trusted. In fact, if the church is to be enjoined, then let it be the people, Christians themselves, not these church leaders. Because church leaders have failed us dismally. They have failed us because when we expected them to be the first people to champion the agenda of common mwananchi, they were championing their own agenda. That's why most of these church leaders fit in this category of tumbocrats. I think they should be referred to as Bishop Tumbocrats. We saw that bishop in Nyao Stadium during that prayer, and unfortunately she fell down. We've not known what happened thereafter, but it was available in the public domain. She fell down soon after that prayer, which many people termed as a prayer ambayo ilikuwa inaenjoy watu. I don't know. I'm not a pastor, but my question is this: when a pastor prays, is this pastor supposed to read a prayer or just pray from the things that come from his mind, and maybe ile roho ikimshika inamshika ongee hivi, inamshika ombe hivi, ama should it be a prayer that has been written down so you just read like a speech? I saw that bishop reading a prayer that was similar to a speech, but soon after that prayer she fell down, and I think by now everybody knows about that. So that's what I'm saying. The bishops, the pastors are not genuine, though not all of them. Some bishops have been, positive about the idea, telling the government to style up. I remember Pastor Ezekiel. I remember there's another pastor in Nairobi, TK, These pastors have been telling the government to shape up. The government have been told by these pastors to deliver to the expectations of Kenyans. But there are certain pastors in that press conference who don't even deserve a right to talk to the government or to talk about these issues or even to request to be enjoined in the bipartisan talk. I don't think they are supposed to be there because they don't have ile heshima ani ile hadhi ama heshima si nitaje, lakini hawana ile quality ya kuwa katika hicho kikao kwa sababu they are only looking at enriching themselves, making themselves known. They are only looking at their own self. That's why I refer to them as tumbocrat pastors. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. And once again, I'd like to urge you to stay safe and stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.